sentence, so can we hold it till the end? So about 10 years ago, I attended my first summer at camp. And I can't even begin to describe the wonderful experiences and magical feelings that you get when you go there. In the summer of 2000, before camp, I was lonely, depressed, and tired all the time as a result of my illness. I had no more friends, and in a childish 4-year-old way, I thought to myself that things wouldn't change and they wouldn't get better. My life would always stay the same. I didn't even think about the future. I was confined to my 3-bedroom apartment for 100 days, with no friends, no school, nothing. I don't even remember the steps between camp and home and camp, but suddenly I was engulfed with men in clown costumes. I was being tossed in the air, smiling and laughing with my new friends. The higher I was thrown, the happier I became. In just a few days, it was apparent that the counselors had more spirit and more energy than the kids. There was a song for everything from washing your hands to random dance minute. We danced and sang all day. There were plenty of activities to do: archery, swimming. We had a Harley day, we ride on motorcycles, boating, and just a lot of fun stuff. Anything was there, you name it, whatever it was. Each and every counselor was my friend, and I always wondered how all 300 or so could remember my name, but I could hardly remember 6. Not only were the counselors my friends, but I had friends my age also. My clique consisted of me, Oscar, and my friend Nathan. Nathan and I always used to sleep in the same bunk. We used to play this game called the story game. We alternated giving words to the story. So he'd say a word and then I would say one. And at the end, we would get something like Johnny ate pineapples on a date. Oscar and I would always play a video game called X-Men, and me, him, and my counselor Ari Osterker had an ongoing rivalry about who was the best. I'm sure you're wondering who it was, but that's still undecided. Camp would always shape around you, and not the other way. When I was younger, my favorite food was artichokes. So guess what they shipped in from the nearest grocery store? After all, camp was the place where all your dreams come true. You could do whatever you want, whenever you want. Now I'm sure this is a tiny bit awkward, but speaking of whatever you want, whenever you want, I'd like to bring your attention to the letter W. My counselor Ari always used to go like this for W. And looking back on it, I perceived W as whatever. And that's how he called it. Like, do whatever you want, leave whatever behind, and bring whatever you could find. Camp was always a place where you can do whatever you want, and leave the sad, depressing parts of your life behind for those 2 weeks. Whatever you wanted to bring with you, whether it was water guns to spray the counselors, or just another toy or stuffed animal that made you feel better, you could bring it, you could do it. Ari always tried to convince me that W was cool, but whenever he did, I just laughed at his face and called him a loser. But he never stopped doing it. Basically, camp was unbelievable. One of the best snippets, moments, or as my teacher, Miss Levine, likes to call them, snapshots, is Ari and me on our obstacle course race. It's an unforgettable moment. My heart sped up as I was preparing to enter the mouth of the inflated obstacle course. I gave my counselor one last piercing look before I headed through the mouth. My piercing look said, "You're going down." As if it was in slow motion, I turned my head and he said, "Ready, set, go." Just as bouncing off the green mountains and pulling each other down from the climbing walls was so thrilling. The process repeated, and as we managed to make our way towards the end, On the last obstacle course, me and Ari, I give Ari the same stare, I will take you down. We both leaped through the small hole, tumbling upon each other. Ari is delusional and still thinks he won, but I think we all know who actually did. But so what? Who cares? Why is this all relevant? Can't I provide my child with happiness at home? Camp Simcha is a place where dreams come true, where whatever is the theme, where you come depressed and leave with enough happy energy to last you the rest of the year. Enough energy, enough ruach to last the following year. But my mom always said I looked depressed and sad before camp. But when I came back from camp, I was my happy, gleeful self again. Camp was more than a camp for me. It was a home for me. Each day gave me more hope and more thought about the bright future ahead. Camp Simcha was a rehab center for happiness. I felt so comfortable every day. When your parents say they understand or they get it, it's not a guarantee. You know they're just trying to do it to make you feel better. But when you hear it from your counselors, when you know that they know what you're going through, they're trained, they're specialists there, you know it's a guarantee that when they say it'll be all right, it will be all right. So thank you, Ari, thank you, Oscar, thank you, Nathan, thank you, all the Camp Simcha staff. You have made this great journey for every single camper at Camp Simcha. And thank you, everyone in the audience. You have already made a difference to a child who needs Camp Simcha to soar their spirits as high as their bodies do when they are first thrown by the clowns. Thank you.